I'm getting a fair amount of comments on the channel asking about the textbook basics, shall we call it. Some are saying that their elbow is inside the vertical, some are saying that they're outside the vertical. How do I rectify that problem? Well, the first question is, do we need to rectify that problem? That's point one. If you've got an anatomical deformity or injury, such as I have in an old sporting injury, my elbow is in here, and possibly I could work a little bit harder on stretching these muscles and tendons to get it out. But there are lots of top players, lots of professionals that don't conform to the textbook basics. Without mentioning names, I can think of a player that has his elbow in here, another player that has his elbow out there. Mentioning one name now who's retired from the game, Ray Reardon, 6 times world champion. His elbow was out here to a fair degree, and yet it didn't prevent him from cueing in a straight line. Certainly when I first started playing this game again after my shoulder injury, all right, if I leant over the table like this and I just used my arm, then the cue used to go in an arc. You know, okay, that's an exaggeration, but nevertheless that arc was still there. What I did, I returned to my old friend again, this bault line, and I urge you to do the same. That is a straight line. Please use it to your advantage. So all you need to do is get on the bault line and see if you can groove that muscle action. What I like to do with beginners and top players, I've got the chest supporting the cue here. So it helps me to keep that in a straight line. But equally, the chest can, okay, it can be your friend, and it certainly is if you use it correctly, but it also can be your enemy if it's hiding a flaw, right? I'm not in favor of hiding flaws. I want to expose them and put them right. So here, what I will always do, get on the bault line with the chest on the cue, just making sure that I'm cueing in a straight line. Then I will take the chest away, upwards rather than laterally. Laterally puts you in a totally different position. But if you go upwards very slightly, only marginally, so you're not supporting the cue with the chest. So here, I'm on the chest, ensuring that I'm cueing straight. Take the chest away, upwards very slightly, right? Make sure you're cueing straight without the use of the chest. Feel what's happening, all right? Feel your grip. Be aware of how you do what you do, right? And if you can cue straight without the aid of the chest, once you put that chest back, it's a piece of cake. It's so comfortable, all right? Now the other thing I would like to mention is if I put this on the bault line there, and I cue as I normally do with my elbows slightly in, right? From there, let's see what happens on the bault line. So there and there. I'm pretty much on the bault line, very marginal amount of left-hand side. Now again, this time what I'm going to do is try and do exactly the same thing, but I'm going to force my elbow out. So I'm here. So force my elbow out now, there, and let's see what happens. And that left-hand side has now become slight right-hand side. So I have grooved my muscles in a certain way. Now I've altered that slightly, and I've altered the trajectory of the cue ball. All right? So you have to be careful here. Another thing is the wrist. Yeah, when we form our grip, some players are straight up and down there, other players invert their wrist a little bit, other players they're well out there. Whatever delivers that cue in a straight line is right for you, okay? So let's get thinking about that. Get on that bault line, here, on the chest, off the chest, groove those muscles. but only practice will do it for you. Good luck with that practice.